Hello, students. Welcome to the second part of Geography lesson number 5, the four realms of the earth. In the previous video, that is a part 1 of this chapter, we have studied about the four spheres, that is the four realms of the earth. We are going in detail about each and every realm. So, we have started with lithosphere. We had studied about what is lithosphere, atmosphere, hydrosphere, and biosphere. Now, we'll study in detail what is lithosphere. So lithosphere is basically divided into continents and ocean. There is a land area, and we have completed the two big continents. That is the first Asia continent and the second Africa continent. On this page 156, now we start with the lesson again. 156, we can see the map of North America. For clarity, you can refer to the atlas. In that atlas, you will find the North America map. So, what is the specialty of North America? This is the world's third largest continent, and it was discovered in the 15th century. It was discovered in the 15th century. Mainly located in the northern hemisphere, the continent is enclosed by Arctic Circle in the north. So, here you can find out the location, that is, it is completely in the northern hemisphere, northern western hemisphere, and it is enclosed by Arctic Circle in the north. On the top, we have Arctic Circle. South, it extends down to a point, it is just above the equator. The Atlantic Ocean and the Pacific Ocean are in the east and the west, respectively. So, to the west, we have Pacific Ocean, and to the east, we have Atlantic Ocean. This is the location of North America. Now, the Isthmus of Panama, on which the Panama Canal has been built, links it to South America. So, the second part of the continent is the North America and the South America. These are the two separate continents, and they are separated by the Isthmus of Panama, that is, which is on the Panama Canal. The two major relief features, the Appalachians in the east and the Rocky Mountains in the west, shape the climate and the vegetation. So, in the east, we have Appalachian Mountain, and in the west, we have Rocky Mountains. Okay, children. So, it according to this two, because of these two mountains, the climate and the vegetation of the North America depends. Rivers like Mississippi, Missouri, and Colorado drain this continent. In these three major rivers of the North America are Mississippi, Missouri, and Colorado. Major part of the continent is covered with countries like Canada and United States. So the two big countries of this continent. See, continent is different and countries are different. We are in the Asia continent. So in Asia, we have many countries like India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, China, and so on. In the same way, North America, there are many countries, but the two main countries are Canada and United States. That is the USA. But we say United States of America. So USA and Canada are the two major countries of North America. The Caribbean islands and the Latin America are located in its south. So these two are the location of the south. Now come on the next page. Sorry, on page 157 we have South America, the map of South America. For this also you can refer to the atlas. Okay, book atlas, where we find different maps. South America was discovered along with North America only in the 15th century. So these two both continents were discovered in the 15th century. Most of the South America lies in the southern hemisphere. It is the fourth largest continent in the world. So this is the fourth largest continent in the. So South America is the fourth largest continent. It was discovered in the 15th century along with the North America only. And this continent is located mostly in the southern hemisphere, that is below the equator. North America was above the equator, that is why northern hemisphere, and the South America is in the southern hemisphere, that is the below the equator. Only a small part, very small part lies in North America, that is a northern hemisphere. Sorry, not North America, northern hemisphere. The Andes, the world's longest mountain range. Andes is the world's longest mountain range. Range means a series or a chain of mountain is called as what? Range of mountains. So world's longest chain of mountains, there is Andes mountain, is in the western boundary. All the continent is bordered by water bodies. Remaining the continent is bordered by water bodies like the Atlantic Ocean in the east, Pacific Ocean in the west, Caribbean Sea in the north, and the Antarctic Ocean to its south. So remaining portion of the, except the west part, the remaining portion of South America is enclosed by water bodies. The Amazon River is the world's largest river. So difference is between largest and longest, children. Nile is the longest river, whereas the Amazon is the largest river, and it is in South America. Where it is in South America, children. Sorry for the interruption here. I have to keep the mobile on charge, so sorry for that. The Amazon River flowing in the north is the world's largest river. The Brazilian highlands, that is the mountains, the Guiana Plateau, and the Patagonian highland are the other dominant landforms. So the landform, if there is a landform, that is a land feature of this continent is what? Highlands, Brazilian highlands, it is a mountain. The plateau, Guiana Plateau, and the Patagonian highlands are the major dominant landforms along with the Amazon River and the Andes mountain children. Now the fifth continent, that is the fifth largest continent, is what? Antarctica. You can see here it is surrounded in the south pole, where the 90-degree south pole, it is around this, and so it is frozen throughout the year. The continent of Antarctica is also called as what? The white continent, children. And because it is surrounding the south pole, that is, you can see here the tip of the earth, south pole, here the entire Antarctica is located, and it is inhabited. It is not, means human beings cannot live here, because here we have 6 months day and 6 months night, children. Only here some experiments or the exploration is carried out. For that research work, here the scientists of the different countries have built up their base camps, and so for the research work, otherwise no one stays here. It covers 10% of the world's total land area. It is the biggest, to see the big, it surrounds the South Pole and is bordered by the Antarctic Ocean or the Southern Ocean. This isolated, why it is called isolated? Because no one lives here. Because of its extremely cold climate, there are no permanent settlements except few camps for scientific exploration to carry out research work. So this is about Antarctica. Here you can see the map of Antarctica, and you can also refer to the Atlas book. Come on the next page, 159. Here we have Europe continent. That is the second smallest continent, is called the Peninsula of Europe. It is separated by, here some typing mistake is there in your textbook. It is called the Peninsula of Peninsula, will not come, Peninsula of Peninsula. It is separated from Asia by the Urals, the Caspian Sea, and the Caucasus Mountains. Means it is separated by Asia. I told you that the thin border between Asia and Europe and is only by few mountains and the sea. Otherwise it is a joint continent, and sometimes it is also called as Eurasia. I explained you in the Asia continent. It is bounded by seas in the south, northeast, and northwest. The Atlantic Ocean is on the west, and the large water bodies like Baltic Sea, the Mediterranean Sea, and the Black Sea penetrate deep into this landmass. So these three big sea are penetrating into the Europe continent. These water bodies have helped Europe in the international trade and to become the world's foremost seafaring nation. Seafaring means the busiest sea route is carried out through the Europe continent, because it is surrounded by sea and ocean, and so it is called as a seafaring nation. Means maximum activity of this continent is carried out through the sea route. Most of its landform include a large number of lakes. There are many lakes here in Europe which are of glacial origin. Means they are coming from what? Glaciers. Their origin is from the snow-clad in the high mountains, the glaciers which are there. From that many rivers originate and they flow into the Europe continent. With such small land areas, Europe is dominated the world for 2 centuries. So though Europe is second smallest, it is not the sixth. You can just say it's the sixth largest. So you can tell also second smallest. It is so small continent. Then also it is the number. It was number world in the entire world, and many Europeans have made their colonies had made their colonies in the different parts of the continent, like Asia, for example, India. The Europeans, like the Portuguese and the Britishers, have ruled over us, so they have dominated the world for 2 centuries. So 2 centuries means more than 200 years this Europe continent was, what we say, having domination means what? Having a control over the other parts of the world, children. Now we move on to the last continent. It is a Australia continent. It is the smallest continent. It is also the island. It is also a country. So what is the specialty of Australia? It is continent also. Seventh one means the smallest, and it is the island also, and it is the entire country also. Inside there are no other countries. It is a country. So Australia is a country and a continent both. The smallest island continent was discovered in the 18th century. Until the coming of the Europeans in the 18th century, its original inhabitants, called the Aborigines, lived there for 40,000 years. Means no one knew that some people also, there is a continent also, there is an island also here. So it was directly explored in the 18th century, children. Lying entirely, it is entirely, this Australia is entirely in the southern hemisphere, means entirely below the equator. The Tropic of Capricorns runs through the middle of this continent, so it is below the equator. It is about twice the size of India, but has population which is 35 times less than that of India. So it is size wise, it is double than India, but population wise, it is 35 times less than India. Though surrounded by the Pacific Ocean, Indian Ocean, and all sides, most of this continent is a desert. So just imagine about Australia. It is an island. Island means surrounded by sea and ocean on all the sides. But though it is surrounded by ocean and sea from all the four sides, still Australia is having a biggest desert area. Australia, together with New Zealand, Melanesia, Micronesia, and Polynesia, form a geographic region in the Pacific Ocean, which is also known as Oceania. So, along with this other small islands, Australia, along with this small other islands like New Zealand, Melanesia, Micronesia, Polynesia, they are also called as what? Oceania. This continent is drained by many small rivers like Murray and Darling. On the northeast coast lies the Great Barrier Reef. Now, what is the Great Barrier Reef? It is a landform visible from the moon also. It is a here infobable box. You can see it is a tourist destination. It is made from the coral reefs. It runs about 2000 kilometer under the shallow water of the sea. It is below the what we say shallow water of the sea, 2000 kilometers down. And here it is a famous tourist place also. Here infobable box, you can see here it is written about Great Barrier Reef. Now come on next page. Here also you can see infobable box on page 161. Tiny sea organisms are called as coral polyps. The heaves of their scales, मतलब जब उन लोग उनकी जो dead bodies को जो scales होते हैं, they together skeletons, they together deposit from many years and they form the coral reef. The crust of the coral reefs above the sea level are called atolls, and Lakshadweep islands are examples of atolls. So जो below the reef होते हैं उनको बोलते हैं Great Barrier Reef. आपको एक example बताया. In the same way, when these corals and the heaves and of this skeleton and the scales, when they together form a landform and which is forming above the sea, like Lakshadweep Island is an example of what these coral organisms which are died and deposited their what we say skeleton and heaves are deposited one over the other and they form an island. So Lakshadweep is one type of this island. This is your extra information for you children. So here we come to an end to all the continents, children. So continents are 7 continents. Again I will repeat: Asia, Africa, North America, South America, Europe, Antarctica, Europe, and Australia. So these are the 7 major continents, and you can go through the maps given in the textbook also, children, and also you can refer to the atlas book also and little information. So these continents have great information, children. You can study about these continents in detail also, but for your lesson here only it is given a brief introduction about all the continents is given, children. Now we come to the next topic, that is a after lithosphere there is a hydrosphere, that is a water body. It refers to the sphere of the water. What is hydrosphere? The sphere of the water. Hydro means water. The oceans of the world cover about 71% of the earth's surface. Out of the total surface area of the earth, 510 million square kilometer, the volume of hydrosphere is approximately 1.4 billion cubic kilometer. This is why the earth is called as a blue planet. This you have studied since the 4th standard, children. Why is earth called a blue planet? Because 71% of the earth is covered with water, and when we look from the space, the space where the photographs were clicked from the space, the reflection of the sky of the it is seen and the earth looks like a blue planet. It is a water body, so 71% of the earth is water. Ocean constitutes from this 71%, ocean constitute 97.2% of the total water body. So actually we have saline water. Maximum water is what? Saline, because maximum water is in what? Ocean. It is a water bodies of oceans. Only the limited consumption water is very less. The water is unfit. This water we can't drink and we cannot use for growing crops, or we cannot use it anywhere because it is extremely saline water, salty water. This water is unfit for human and animal consumption and plant growth. Water in the northern hemisphere covers about 61% of the total area and about 81% in the southern hemisphere. So in the northern hemisphere we have 61% of the entire water bodies and 81% in the southern hemisphere. Only 2.8% of the available water is fresh water is available for our human beings. That is a glaciers. A major part of fresh water is stored in what? Glaciers. Groundwater and surface water are available in very small quantities. This fresh water, which flows in rivers and is available on the land, accounts for less than 1% of the total fresh water. So 1% of the total fresh water is in rivers. This water, we use it for many purposes like drinking, washing, cleaning, irrigation, industrial purpose, and so on. So you can see that Earth is a blue planet. 71% of the Earth is covered with water. Then also we face water scarcity here. Everywhere we face water scarcity because the usable water, what we say, the water which we can use is only 2.8%, and out of that only 1% is on the land, that is in the form of rivers. Remaining 1.8% is in the glacier form, which we cannot use it. So see children, limited water, we have to use it very carefully. Water is life, we have to save water. Every time we celebrate also water day, because to create an awareness that water is very very less and we have to use it judiciously. Okay, now we come to the oceans children. You know the ocean water is saline. There are five main oceans of the world total, like by how we had seven continents, here we have five major oceans. These are Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Indian Ocean, Arctic Ocean, and Antarctic Ocean also. See, Antarctica is a continent, but surrounding the Antarctica continent we have Antarctic Ocean or Southern Ocean. What is it called? Southern Ocean. That is why five oceans. Remember again, Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Indian Ocean, the Arctic Ocean, and the Antarctic Ocean. See here it is a percentage wise. Here the water, Pacific Ocean water, how much is the Pacific Ocean water, it is shown in different colors. Yes, this is called as what? Your pictograph, or you can say it is what? Graph of water showing. Okay, Pacific Ocean, you can see 45% is of the Pacific Ocean water, then 23% is Atlantic Ocean, then green color 19% is Indian Ocean, then red color 3% is there is orange color, that is 3% is Arctic Ocean, then purple color you can see 4%, that is a Southern Ocean, and the others mixed water is called as what? 6% is the other area of the ocean. So total area of all the oceans is, you can return here it is. So this is shown to you by dividing it into different percentages, and you can understand that which how many oceans are comprising of how much of water. So this is just extra information for you. You can draw this diagram also if required children. Okay, and here the extra boxes are given here. You can just read the info bubble box and the other boxes till now. So come on to page 162 children. Now sea, this ocean is different and sea is different. This is also salty water only. Ocean and sea is also what? Salty water. The salt water bodies on the earth's surface are smaller than the ocean. When they are smaller than the ocean, they are called as what? Sea. But the water is salty only. They are divided into two categories: open sea and the inland sea. Which are the open seas? Which are not surrounded by land, and the inland sea, which is surrounded like Caspian Sea, Mediterranean Sea. All these sea are surrounded by the land, so it is called as what? Inland sea. Okay, children. Now will study about the most common topic. This you have already studied in the right from the fourth standard. Hydrological cycle means at evaporation, condensation, and precipitation. This cycle of water, that is why it is called water cycle, because water in the earth remains constant, it never dries up. The water which goes up as evaporation get condensed and come back in the form of precipitation. So this is called as cycle of water, and that is why it is called as hydrological cycle. The hydrological cycle or the water cycle is one of the many processes operating in the atmosphere. See, this is the main process how the water is formed here. The sun provides the energy that helps water to evaporate from the ocean, lake, sea, rivers, and other water bodies on the earth. So the evaporation is the first step. The sun, the solar energy converts the what we say, the water from the lakes, ocean, and sea into the solar energy, what we say, in the water vapor form, that is called as what? Evaporation. Then winds carry water vapor over the oceans and continents. This water vapor condenses into tiny droplets of water in the presence of dust particles. This is called as what? Condensation. When it mixes with the dust particles, goes up to a height and then cools down, that is called as what? Condensation, which then rises up in the atmosphere and joins together to form clouds, which is called as what? Condensation. When joined, they become heavy and fall back in the form of rain. Again, when these clouds become heavy, they fall back in the form of rain or snow or what we say, sleet or anything. And again it comes back in the hail and sleet form, and it is called as precipitation. The flow of water on the surface is called runoff. मतलब जो पानी बहता है उसको बोलते हैं रन ऑफ वाटर, और जो बिलो द वाटर है उसको बोलते, मतलब ग्राउंड के नीचे जो हम लोग बोरिंग से पानी निकालते हैं या वाटर हैंड पंप से पानी निकालते हैं उसको बोलते हैं ग्राउंड वाटर. All the water on the surface, including the rivers, streams, and groundwater from below the surface, ultimately returns to ocean. So this all water returns to the oceans. मतलब पहले उसका इवेपोरेशन होता है, कंडेंसेशन होता है, जब प्रेसिपिटेशन होता है तो पानी लैंड पे भी गिरता है और ओशन पे भी गिरता है. तो दिस गोज ऑन कंटिन्यूसली. इन द प्रोसेस ऑफ इवेपोरेशन सम वाटर इज हेल्ड बाय द एटमॉस्फेयर इन द फॉर्म ऑफ वाटर वेपर भी होता है. That is also a form of water. Water vapor is also a form of water. This never ending circulation of water from the ocean to the air and back again to the land is called as, back again to the ocean, back again to the land is called as what? Hydrological cycle. It has no beginning or end. कहाँ से शुरू होता है, it goes on continuing. That is why it is called as what? Cycle. So the hydrological cycle is the source, only source of fresh water on the earth. मतलब कोई जो पानी मिलता है, रेन वाटर, जो रेन का हमको पानी मिलता है या स्नो का पानी मिलता है, दैट इज ओनली द सोर्स ऑफ फ्रेश वाटर. और कहाँ से हमको एक्स्ट्रा फ्रेश वाटर मिलेगा? नहीं. सो हाइड्रोलॉजिकल साइकिल से जो इवेपोरेशन होता है, कंडेंसेशन होता है, प्रेसिपिटेशन होता है, उसी से हमको फ्रेश वाटर मिलता है. दिस फ्रेश वाटर इज यूज बाय प्लांट्स, एनिमल्स, ह्यूमन बींग्स फॉर देयर सर्वाइवल. सो दिस फ्रेश वाटर इज यूज बाय all the living beings, and that is why this hydrological cycle is very very important. So children, now I will stop here children, because I have made this video big. The remaining two parts of video, that is atmosphere and the biosphere, two spheres are remaining, two domains, two realms of the earth are remaining, that is the atmosphere and the biosphere. That I'll be explaining you in the third part of the video children, because I cannot explain you all in one video only. You have to take a break also. So read till page 162. Till now I have explained you the 5 continents which were remaining. First 2 continents I have explained in the first part of the video. 5 continents I have explained you in this video. And also I have explained you about hydrosphere, ocean, sea and hydrological cycle. So we'll stop here on page 162. Again we'll continue from atmosphere in the third part of the video children.